Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, the place for creators to monetize their passion and create a freedom lifestyle with the business you love. So if you're new here, consider subscribing as I put out a new video every single Monday. I'm Shannon L. Jackson, and today guys, we're going to be talking about how to make money from podcasting in 2020. It's the new year. You have all these great ideas, all these wonderful plans that you just want to get out there. Now with podcasting, it's not a new platform. It's been around actually a very long time, but people are just starting to jump on the podcasting bandwagon, as I call it, and they're just adding it, as a transition to their business or to their brand, or just to get something out there for them as a side hustle to start. So I wanted to talk about how to make money from podcasting in this video. Before I get to the monetizing part of podcasting, I do want to share some tips to get your platform of podcasting started off for success, so you can establish the podcast and then hone in, move forward down the line to monetizing it. So I'm going to share with you guys 4 tips on how to make money from podcasting. The first tip I want to talk about is outline your topics. So what is your podcast going to be about? This is where you just establish like your brand, your overall umbrella of your podcasting. So do you want to talk about motherhood? Do you want to talk about business? Maybe it could be about marketing. It could be about styling, fashion, couponing, whatever your interests are, your passions. Go ahead and establish your topics first. Go ahead and outline what you want your overall podcast to be about. So after you do that, the next step is where you would decide which layout do you prefer. I know I'm a huge fan of podcasts, and there are different layouts. So here in this step, you would figure out which layout do you prefer. Do you prefer the type of layout where it's more of a conversational piece? Because podcasts it's kind of like you're just having frequent, ongoing conversations. So do you want it to be conversational, where it's like you're behind the mic and you're just discussing your journey, your failures, your celebrations, what you've been through, what you learned from. You're just sharing with your audience as you would do a friend. So it's the conversational piece. The next piece of choosing the layout is, do you want to have a layout where it's more like a back and forth dialogue, where you're interviewing someone and they're answering your questions, like an interviewer and an interviewee? So do you want to do that type of layout? That is really a popular layout that I've noticed a lot of people do within their podcast. And then next, another layout is, do you want to do like a Q&A, a frequently asked question layout, where people are asking you the same questions and you just want to get it out in this type of form on your platform? Or if someone is DMing you questions, you could just go ahead and answer the questions that they give to you, right? So that is step 2, just choose the layout that you prefer. The third step is what I call find your main thing. So this is very, very important, especially if you're new. Now, if you're established, you probably already have your main thing, but if you are new, you have to decide what you want to be your main thing. So if podcasting is your main thing, make that your main thing before you dabble into anything else or any other platforms. I say this to say so you can have a focus on where you want to go and what you want to do. Because if you establish podcasting as your main thing, you can revert everything to that main thing, and it would just flow on to your business or your side hustle, whatever you're trying to establish. For example, I have a blog. Blogging was my main thing up until now when I started my YouTube channel. But blogging has been my main thing for 2 years since I started my blog. And I would just revert everything back to my blog, like my business, everything that I was discussing, just so I can focus on that platform. So since I've been blogging for 2 years, I decided to transition and learn YouTube. So here I am. So that's why I said about main thing, because you don't want to get overwhelmed and confused and be all over the place. That's why I said in the beginning that I noticed a lot of people are adding podcasting onto their business or their brand. So if you're starting out with podcasting, just make that your main thing and transition to other things as you go along in progress. So that's step 3. Now step 4 is where you will begin to make the money. So usually with podcasting, the main thing that people do, they run advertisements. So you can run ads within your podcast. Like you could give your listeners a coupon code if they go to X, Y, and Z website. You know, that can be the advertisement that's running within your podcast, sort of like a commercial. I'm sure you heard of it when you're listening to your favorite podcast. When people say, like, for my listeners, by downloading such and such episode, you get 10% off this product or this X, Y, and Z. You know, that is how you would begin to start monetizing your podcast, and is running advertisements. Also, like when I said, find your main thing, maybe you have a product, whatever you're offering, you can post that and talk about that within your podcast. You can have links within your podcast, affiliate links, like when you have interviewers on, or if you're answering questions, you can make sure that you're highlighting things within the show notes. So the main part of monetizing your podcast is just making sure everything is tied into what you're talking about. Make sure it's congruent for you and your brand and for your audience, definitely. But the huge thing to go ahead and get you to make money from podcasting in 2020, after you outline your topics, suggest and did your layout and find your main thing, go ahead and run advertisements, because you can start doing that now before you even develop a product. And also you can go ahead and tap into affiliate marketing by adding your affiliate links within your podcast. That is something you can do right out of the gate before creating products and all of that that you may want to do down the line. So those are the 4 tips, guys, to making money from podcasting in 2020. I hope you got value from this video. Go ahead and give me a like if you enjoyed today's video, and let me know, are you thinking about starting a podcast this year? Has podcasting been on your radar? There's something you want to add or start for yourself? Let me know in the comments. But that's all for today, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Don't go ahead and click subscribe, because I put out a new video every single Monday, and I will see you guys next week.